Yeah, trouve-t-elle item, Brain at Work. Brain at Work. Soyez tous les bienvenus à ce programme. You are all welcome to this program. La question que nous posons aujourd'hui est: vous croyez en la Sainte Bible? Vous croyez en la Sainte Bible? Ou bien vous croyez en la Bible? Est-ce que vous croyez que la Bible est vraiment la parole d'un Dieu tout-puissant, un Dieu qui est la mensonge? Est-ce que vous croyez que la Bible est la parole d'un Dieu qui est quelque part un Dieu très véridique, qui est toujours prêt pour nous parler de la vérité? Est-ce que vous pensez toujours que la Bible est la parole de ce Dieu? Yes, Moji. Small GH, I see you. Do you still believe that the Bible is the word of a God who hates corruption, a God who is truthful, a God who is always to speak truth? Dans la Bible que les uns appellent sainte, dans la Bible que les uns appellent sainte, on dit qu'il y a un serpent qui a parlé à Yves. Tout d'abord, Dieu a créé Adam et Yves. Adam et Yves ont enfanté Abel et Cain. Abel était tué par Cain et on dit Cain est parti sur une terre quelque part et il a rencontré sa femme qui a enfanté la femme que Cain avait mariée. Qui a enfanté cette femme? Qui sont les parents de la femme de Cain? Who are the parents of Cain's wife? Vous croyez toujours en la Bible? Do you still believe in the Bible? On dit, Jeremiah, Lamentation chapter 3 verse 37 to 38. It says, both good and evil alike take place at his command. Verse 38. Lamentation chapter 3 verse 38. I say good and evil alike take place at his command. Yeah, judgmental house, I see you. So, if good and evil alike take place at the command of God, then who commanded the snake to go and deceive Eve in the garden to eat the forbidden fruit? I ask this question. Lamentation chapitre 3 verset 38 dit: et le mal et le bon vient de Dieu. Le mal et le bien vient de Dieu. Si ceci est vrai, si tous les dégâts qui se passent dans ce monde viennent de Dieu, si c'est par le commandement, si c'est par le commande, si c'est Dieu qui fait tout, je pose cette question. Le serpent qui avait trompé Yves dans le jardin d'Éden, ce serpent qui a commandé au serpent d'aller tromper d'aller tromper Yves dans le jardin, n'est-ce pas le Dieu lui-même? It's not the God himself who commanded the snake to go and deceive Eve in the garden? If yes, God himself commanded the snake to do so, why the God has still cursed the snake, Eve and Adam, and even the earth? God cursed the earth that the earth shall not produce enough for Adam. The earth will no longer be fertile. Lamentation chapter 3 verse 37 to 38. It says, good and evil alike take place at his command. So it is by the command of God that the snake entered the garden of Eden in the first place. So it is by the command of God. If Lamentation chapter 3 verse 37 to 38, who says and it happened, if the Lord hasn't spoken, who commanded and it happened if the Lord has not commanded? Both good and evil alike take place at his command. And we are saying, if this is true, who commanded the snake that deceived Adam and Eve in the garden? Is he not the God himself? Si cette partie est vraie que c'est Dieu qui commande tout, rien dans ce monde ne se passe sans le commandement de Dieu. Rien ne peut se passer quand le Dieu de la Bible n'en connaît rien, n'en sait rien. Si ce passage de la Bible est vrai, qui a commandé au serpent d'aller tromper Yves dans le jardin d'Éden? N'est-ce pas le Dieu lui-même? Vous croyez toujours en la Bible? Vous croyez toujours en la Sainte Bible? La Bible, ce livre que les uns appellent Sainte. Est-ce que vous croyez toujours en ce livre? Yeah. Now, Daniel, the book of Daniel chapter 14, verse 14, the God says, the righteousness of Noah, Job, and Daniel cannot save their children. C'est lié par Ezekiel chapter 14, verse 14. Going. The Bible says, if a country has committed a sin against God, and he, God, is annoyed and he wants to destroy that country, he will destroy everybody. And if Noah, Daniel, and Job, if they live in that country, their righteousness will save them alone. Their righteousness cannot save their children. But I ask, in Genesis chapter 7, the Bible says Noah is the only righteous person in his generation. So God told Noah that he should enter the ark. He, Noah, his children, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, with their wives. If it is true that the righteousness of Noah can save his children, why Shem, Ham, and Japheth were equally saved together with Noah in the time of the flood? I'm asking this question. En français, Ézéchiel chapitre 14 verset 14 dit: si un pays a péché contre Dieu et Dieu est en colère contre ce pays et il veut détruire le pays, même si Noah, Job et Daniel, même si ces trois personnes vivent dans ce pays, leur droitesse ne peut pas sauver leurs enfants. Cela voudra dire que si Noah est un homme droit devant Dieu, sa droitesse ne peut pas sauver ses enfants, Shem, Ham et Japheth. Mais dans la Genèse chapitre 7 verset 1 en allant, le Dieu a dit à Noah que Noah, tu es la seule personne qui est droit dans ta génération. Entre dans l'arc, toi et tes enfants, Shem, Ham et Japheth. Je pose la question. Si Ézéchiel chapitre 14 verset 14 est vrai, pourquoi est-ce que le Dieu a sauvé Shem, Ham et Japheth en plus de leur papa? If Ezekiel 14:14 is true, why God saved Shem, Ham and Japheth with their wives? The God should have saved Noah alone if Ezekiel chapter 14 verse 14 going is true. Vous croyez toujours à la Bible? Do you still believe in the Bible? Do you still believe in it? Hein? Vous croyez toujours que la Bible est la parole d'un Dieu tout puissant quelque part? Yeah. Now, Satan It is said that in John chapter 8, verse 44 going, Jean chapitre 8, verset 44 en allant, Jésus dit que Satan, Jesus said, Satan is the father of all liars. From the very beginnings of ages, Satan is a murderer. He has never stood by the side of the truth. John chapter 8, verse 44 going, Jesus said, it is the will of your father you want to do, the devil. He is a murderer from the very beginning of ages, and it is the will of your father you want to do. Jesus said Satan is a murderer. Now, show me one part in the Bible when Satan has killed somebody. Do not forget Lamentation chapter 3, verse 38. It said, good and evil alike take place at the command of God. So, even if you are able to get one place in the Bible where Satan has killed somebody, Satan did it at the command of God. Therefore, Satan didn't do it by his own will. Therefore, God did it. And Jesus said, Satan is a murderer. I want one believer who can give me one quotation. Jésus dit, Jean chapitre 8, verset 44, que vous êtes les enfants de votre père, le diable. C'est sa volonté que vous voulez faire. Depuis l'Antiquité jusqu'alors, il n'est jamais content de la vérité. Il est un meurtrier que Satan tue. C'est ça, je pose la question. Je cherche seulement un seul fidèle qui va me donner un passage dans la Sainte Bible, tel que vous l'appelez. Je cherche un fidèle qui va me donner un passage, un verset biblique qui montre que, en vérité, Satan est un mensonger, qui montre que Satan ne dit pas la vérité. It is God who told Adam and Eve that the day they shall eat the forbidden fruit, they will die. They ate it, they didn't die. Satan says, if you eat it, your eyes will open. They ate the forbidden fruit and their eyes were open. Between the God and the devil, who said the truth? Me, if Satan is somewhere, if it is true that there's somebody called Satan, I better join him. Because being with Satan has never asked anybody to pay tithe before he can do something for you. This shows that Satan is self-sufficient. Le diable, Satan, n'a demandé personne de contribuer une somme d'argent. Satan n'a pas demandé à quelqu'un de contribuer soit une somme d'argent ou bien quel que soit avant qu'il ne fasse quelque chose pour la personne. Satan n'a pas besoin de tes dîmes. Satan doesn't need your tithe. He doesn't need your collection. This shows he is a self-sufficient one. Your God says, unless you pay tithe. While this God in Haggai chapter 2, Haggai 2, I think verse 8, he says, all the gold and the silvers in the world belong to me. God is speaking. All the gold and the silver in the world belong to me. The God who boasts to have owned all the gold and the silvers in the world still need 10% of your income before he can bless you. Now, let me ask this question. Laissez-moi poser cette question. Les menuisiers qui font le cercueil, hein? Les menuisiers qui font le cercueil, carpenters who do coffin et fundaka. Let me ask this question. Les menuisiers qui font le cercueil, carpenters who fabricate coffin, Do they pay tithe in the church? No, I'm asking a question. Now, what is the reason believers pay tithe? Believers pay tithe so that their work can improve. True of us. That is Malachi chapter 3, verse 10 going. Verse 11. That point is at verse 11 going. Malachi chapter 3, verse 10, verse 11, verse 12 downwards. They say, pay tithe and put me to the test. I will open heavenly windows and pour blessings upon you. Your work shall prosper. You shall prosper in everything you do. So, one way or other, believers pay tithe so that there can be improvement in their works. True of us? True. Okay. Now I'm asking a carpenter that fabricate coffee for burials, do they also pay tithe in church? Yes. If they pay tithe, it means God, they are also asking that God to help their work improve, to make their work improved. So if their works improve, it means they are going to make more coffee. And if you make the coffee, nobody purchase it, it means you are losing. So before they can gain, more people has to die. Do you know? You get the scenario then? En français, la question était simple et posée ainsi. Les menuisiers qui fabriquent des cercueils pour des funérailles. Les menuisiers qui fabriquent des cercueils. Je pose la question, je veux savoir si ces menuisiers paient leur dîme à l'église. Ok. Les menuisiers. I'm at a certain place and we shall continue later. Alright. This is true time. Brain at work. Which was no, call me B. Until later. Alright.